Okay, so this is quite an hard video to do, but we're up in Scotland, and last night before we set off we heard about the, no, at the time we just thought it was pyro or something.
There were reports of explosions and people running away from the MEN Arena in Manchester, which is Manchester itself is one of our favourite cities.
Yeah.
And at first it was just explosions. It could have been an incident with Victoria Station, which runs underneath, or something to do with the pyros, because there was an Ariana Grande concert that night. But then we woke up to the news that there were fatalities and that people were missing. And
it's hard to also to like talk without making it sound like you come in on one side or the other, like you're
everyone seems to have an angle. They either are using it for the political gain, or to sell newspapers, or to further one form of career or another. But when you get down to it, the majority of people are shocked and devastated, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to be for one side or another. You just have to be aware, and at this point in time, the only feeling that could be really seen as logical would be a form of devastation or shock. I mean, a lot of people today have said that Manchester has its fair share of history with terrorist attacks.
I mean, I remember the IRA one.
And as it's one of our biggest cities, it should expect things like this. But the thing is, you don't. No civilized city expects children to be targeted.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've lived like this for 15 years with this blasted terror thing hanging over our heads. But there is no blame here. It's more...
It's hard to... I think because we've not got that mindset, it's hard to understand why somebody...
It's basically, they're throwing around a fireball, and it's, no, it's your fault, no, it's your fault, no, it's your fault. Stop a minute and figure out not whose fault it is, but what comes of this. How are you going to remember the victims? How are you going to help the survivors, the grieving families, the injured? How does Manchester memorialise them? How does the country deal with the fact that things like this aren't just in the cities? It's all of us that get affected. There are people who go to concerts in cities who aren't from those cities. Like, I've been to MEN before, and I'm from Halifax. It's not one city there that's been focused on, it's the whole country. And yet people are calling it an attack on the north, an attack on the cities. It's not. It's an attack on the human population of the country.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what gender, what religion, what race, hell, what species. If you want to go that far, we're all trying to muddle along, and I don't care if this is possibly one of the most emo things I've ever said, but you hit one of us, you hit all of us.
Yeah.
That's the answer. It doesn't matter what people are going to say. It's a matter of race, a matter of religion. It's not. It's a matter of right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, is it right to avenge civilian targets with civilian targets? Answer, no. Is it right that the government is more interested in using this as a podium for the political issues of the upcoming elections, saying that one side says there's not enough guards and army involvement or police involvement, the other's too lax and too too much of a sympathizer. No. You've got to stop everything and just go, right, if this is going to keep happening, then maybe we're going about this the wrong way. You don't fight fire with fire, you've got to fight fire with thought. I mean, demons, I get, people are crazy, but even in these situations, people like me who don't do socialization, who don't do these sort of situations, actually want to be part of the voice that says, guys, wake the frell up. One of the greatest cities in the country has just been dealt a blow, and yet people are more interested in airtime or podiums.
I think it's we should remember that one of the girls who was murdered. No, yeah,
Yeah, comes down
killed.
to it.
She was 16 years old, and she was a girl who went to. We didn't know her personally, but she went to conventions that we go to. She went to Rogue events, and
She's been to Star Fury.
Star Fury, and she might have gone to Wales, you know, and. Alright, we didn't know personally, but it's affected a lot of...
It's not like you're aiming, whoever takes responsibility, whatever. It's not like you've taken aim at the people who've hurt you, or hurt whatever the hell it is that you're avenging. You've pretty much picked a target that is public, which means anyone, people of whatever type you are, could have been there. There is no your side, my side. It's the human condition, right? The one thing that humans have been consistently good at since the beginning of time is killing each other. And it has gotten us absolutely fracking nowhere. I think it's about time we found another way of doing things, don't you?
I mean, I'm going back to my geeky sci-fi fantasy side here. It's like what Yoda said in Star Wars. Fear leads to anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. And it's a vicious circle. You know, like...
Ain't the circle of life, mate. It's the circle of death.
Yeah. It's just completely vicious circle.
It's the old line in it. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a broken neck for a broken heart. You bomb us, we'll bomb you back. Nah. And I'm not saying peace process is exactly easiest or the sanest thing to do either. Maybe the third option, maybe, and I don't mean to quote here, Palais, cold peace, something. There's got to be something other than taking people's lives. I mean, nature does that indiscriminately anyway. We only hear a finite time as it is. I don't mean to sound cheesy, but there's a belief system where every life is a candle, and last count, whoever did this has just blown out 22. That's one hell of a circle of darkness. It's not cool, and it is beyond not right. And it's like James Corden said last night, or whenever he had.
Yeah, it would have been last
American
night.
time zones. Manchester is it's like a melting pot. No matter what you are, you'll find something in that city that dances to your beat. And if anything, when the dust settles, no pun intended, the city's going to be stronger for it. The question is the rest of the country, or is it going to be more infighting and bollocks? If I don't know, if people can just stop with their internal bullshit and get together and just go, right, we're here because we feel bad for what's happened, maybe by stopping it and taking part in the vigils that are going on, or offering to help, like people in Manchester do. or have, we can, I don't know, show the rest of the world, the rest of the country, a different way of doing things. I don't know. You hit one of us, you hit all of us. Or if you really want to go for the geek end, part of the ship, which is the UK, part of the crew. I mean, it's like Heather said, one of the girls, one of the first to be announced as one of the casualties was a geek, or she was a convention goer. She went to Star Fury, and one of Sean's traditions at Star Fury is to say that no matter colour, race, gender, whatever, if you have something in common, you're one of us. We all have something in common, mate. Flesh and blood. And it ain't here forever.
Yeah, it's like I did when I was doing youth service a few years back. We did this song called "Don't Just Me," and it went, yes, I'm different because not me. You know that I'm human. You know that I breathe, I bleed, I love, I feel. Don't judge me. And then it went and said, well, why do people judge us? Like, we don't know. And then it's like, is it a person's colour? Is it a person's creed? Is it a person's football team, the school they went to, the sexuality? You know, like, we shouldn't judge anybody. And
when people on the edges of society, geeks, the LGBTQ society, and Sikhs or Muslims who are going to get blamed for this, because it's the it's the automatic reaction these days is something goes wrong, blame the Muslim community. Who were one of the first to turn and help? And there's a report on Facebook of the Sikh community in Manchester handing out free food and drink for the vigils. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge by what you hear on TV or see in movies. Actually look with your eyes, not with your freaking ears. Or fingers in this case of Twitter.
It's so, like I said, we know it's really easy to get angry with things that's happened and
translate it into something else.
Yeah.
There have been, I've seen a few posts of national poets coming up with eulogies or songs of peace. If you've got that fire in you that you want to say or do something, draw something, write something, find a way to be productive, not counterproductive. Right?
Yeah. Anyway, my battery's about to go on my camera, and Midnight's dad's gone to bed because we're in the caravan, so we're trying to keep as quiet as we can.
The best thing to say is to those who pass, to those who've lost people. I know it's a geek thing, but Ave Aquavale.
And our thoughts are with you, kind of thing. And yeah, just keep strong and keep.
As the great Winston Churchill once said, the best thing this country does is KBO. Yeah. Keep buggering on.
Anyway, so for now, I think we're going to sign off, and hope that you are safe, and don't let hate and fear.
Don't let the bastards get you down, dude.
Anyway, for now, we'll say speak to you later.
Later days.